Hello, everybody. Welcome to Critical Beauty. Today, I have a special guest. Her name is Carmen Maria Montiel, Miss Venezuela 1984. I can't wait to do a follow-up interview with her again. So we're just waiting for her to enter the chat room. So if you guys have any questions for Carmen Maria, please let me know by writing them down in the chat box below, and I'd be more than happy to read them back to her. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Click the subscribe button and the bell icon to get instant notifications for the next video. I think I see her coming now. Let's see. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Click the subscribe button and the bell icon to get instant. Hi. Are you there? Hi.
¿Cómo estás?
I can't hear.
¿No me puedes oír? No, pero sí tengo. Qué raro. Ay, Dios mío. ¿Qué será?
I can hear you now.
Ah, ok. ¿Cómo estás?
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
You know what? You never age. You always look so fresh and young. What is your secret?
My secret, always say whatever is in your heart shows right here. So the secret is to be a good person, to be happy with yourself, eat right, exercise, wake up every morning thanking God that a new day have begun.
That is a wonderful advice. People out there, if you're worrying about, getting older and you think that, you've reached a chapter in your life where you feel useless, take Carmen's beautiful advice. Okay. Always think positively. It's the only way.
And thank God. And I'm very pleased with my children. They're all grown. They're doing fantastic. And, if you have no bad ill in your heart, I always say, when you see what's in your heart, it shows in your face. And that's why I always say everybody is beautiful when they're young. But as people age and they keep all of these bad things in their heart, that's what some people age beautifully and some don't.
I totally agree, because I think the more negative energy you keep inside, it affects your whole well-being. It affects the way you treat other people. It affects your relationship with God, obviously. And yeah, so people out there always think positively
And
and
be kind to others.
be kind to others. If you meet someone who is not kind to you, you don't need that person in your
Get
life.
away. That's bad energy.
It's bad karma, bad energy. Go away, okay?
Well, I'm going to in any case, my dogs bark. I have two babies, so two puppies. Well, one is 7-year-old and the other is 2. So hopefully they won't bark.
Oh, I love dogs. I have a dog too.
Yeah.
They're amazing. So, well, the last time I spoke to you was exactly 4 years ago.
Yes, a lot
Yeah.
happened.
And of course, 40 years ago, you were crowned Miss Venezuela, 1984. So congratulations, celebrating your 40th anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. I cannot believe it. I was a baby and here we are 40 years after the fact.
Yeah.
So it's my kids always celebrated, and it was Mother's Day like within a day or something. So I spent the whole weekend with my children in New Orleans celebrating everything that happened that weekend.
Well, that's great. I'm sure you're a wonderful mother. You have 3 children.
I have 3 children.
2 girls and a boy.
2 girls and my boy.
Mm-hmm.
My girls are 28 and 25. My oldest is doing a master in fine arts at the University of Houston. My second one is studying law school in Tulane, New Orleans. And my son just finished his first year in college in chemical engineering. So they're thriving. They like to study. They set goals and they got for it. So I'm very pleased as a mother that they are who they are. I always said, the children are really the mirror of who you are.
Yeah.
And I am a very loving mom, but I am a very strict mom still.
Yes. Yes. Which
And
is good. Which is good.
And the result is what we're seeing. So it is good.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure.
Good.
Well, your daughters, were they ever interested in becoming beauty queens?
No, probably my oldest. She was more, being an artist that she is. She's a fantastic artist. She does mixed media. So, and she's a fantastic dancer. And I think that probably attract her a little. But, the setup here in the United States is so different. And even in Venezuela nowadays have changed. I always, what happened to me was an accident. I met Osmel Sousa, the president of the pageant, who's now working for Miss Universe.
And I want to ask your opinion about that later. Yeah.
Yeah. And by accident in a private discotheque in Venezuela, Le Club, and I was 16 years old, and he told me about it, and I thought he was crazy. I went to study arts, that's when my daughter get it. And he called me for 3 years, and then I just went one time, went to Miss Venezuela, Miss South America, won it, Miss Universe, second runner-up, and that was it for me. Now, here, you have to start very early on, and you have to do it year after year. You have to become what is known as part of the circuit. And my kids like to study, and that takes a lot of time out of their careers, studies, and goals. So she kind of was. And my second one, she always wanted to be a lawyer since she was little. So that was never in any of her dreams, because she's very scholar type. So it's amazing. Now they're very proud of mommy.
Sure.
All three of them.
Now, do you still have your crown and sash when you won? Do you keep them someplace?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, let's see. Ooh, okay. Oh, it still looks brand new.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. Miss Sudamerica. Okay.
It's Venezuela in the back.
Miss Zulia, Miss Venezuela. Yes. Wonderful. And
Yes.
the crown. Wow.
There.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have
and
you-
the trophy. This is
And
the
the trophy. And the trophy, yeah.
Universe. That's my second runner-up trophy.
Beautiful.
Yes.
See, they don't give trophies anymore.
Oh, imagine everything have changed so much. I don't like the changes.
Okay, let's talk about the changes. First and foremost, as you know, this year, Miss Universe, well, actually last year, they started accepting trans women. So I don't know what your opinion about that. What do you think? Do you think it's okay for transgender women to compete?
No, I'm completely against all of that is happening with admitting trans women, not into beauty pageants, but also in sports.
Okay.
As a woman that fought to gain my place in society and as a professional, a mother of two daughters that have dreams and they're working hard to achieve it, I don't think it's fair to have women compete against men. It doesn't matter if they're at the end of the day, we're different for a reason. Biologically, it doesn't change the basic of we women were XX and the men are XY, and they can do whatever, but they still are who they are, and their bone structure, muscle structure, strength, brain size, everything is different. And we women cannot compete with that. And if you said in sports, look what's happening. It's actually cruel. The accidents and and you know the damage women are facing. And in sports is such an important thing, you know, to get scholarships. And these women fight so hard, and then it's not fair because a man will always win over us in that
Yeah.
thing. Now let's talk about the beauty pageants. It's not fair either because you know what? It doesn't matter how old you are. Most women, we do have cellulite.
Really?
Yeah, and men don't.
Yes.
And I said, you know what? Let's allow for women to do this and have a pageant for them. You know why they want to be part of our pageants. You know, also the pageants is an opportunity once again for women to establish a platform for whatever they're going to do in the future. And here we have men that believe they're women taking that away also from women. And it's not fair at all. So I'm completely and let me tell you, one thing is I have many gay friends and I adore them. And you know, I'm a pageant girl. I'm always surrounded.
Do you have any transgender friends?
You know what? I don't, because in reality, that's a very minority. You know, we put the numbers the other day, we're talking about 0.96 something. Is so I don't, but many gay friends and many good friends. Like yesterday, the day before, my dear friend, who was my makeup artist, Julio Cesar, has his birthday, but they are in their position. They are not trying to be a woman or anything. And it's been so hard for women to. We have fought for so many years to gain our place in society, to have it now taken away by a man that claims to be a woman.
Right. Yeah. You know what? To a certain point, I do agree. I mean, for me, I don't have any, you know, I'm speaking as a conservative like you, okay? For me, a transgender woman who looks and sounds and behaves like a real woman, if you're basing everything on looks alone, on image, I don't have any problem with that kind of trans woman competing in pageants. But if you bring along a transgender woman who does not look like a real woman, I have a problem. I have a problem with that. Okay. Especially when they start opening their mouth and they sound like a man. Okay. And they haven't had their full sexual reassignment surgery. So I have an issue with that. And like what you said, there are already pageants for transgender women.
Yes.
You know,
So
let it be an equal playing field, you
it's
know? So
and
it's very hard.
and you know, and then what happened is also then there is this push. Oh, we need to, since they're competing, probably they're going to end up giving the crown to one of them, and that's not fair. Because really, you know, I always said, um, the fact that I end up in a pageant, as I said, it was an accident, but it was a fantastic accident for me. It really was the platform for everything I have done in my life professionally, and even when I got involved in politics, they still appreciate that. And I always say, you know, the pageant taught me a lot about politics, but it's a platform for women, and it's another opportunity for women to excel, to make a future, to make out of that opportunity. And everything is much harder for women. That's the reality. Why taking it away from us?
Agree. Now, this year, of course, Miss Universe eliminated the age limit. It used to be between the ages of 18 to 28, and they got rid of that because the Miss Universe winner from 2022 was the oldest Miss Universe at age 28. So because of her influence, the organization decided to get rid of the age limitation. Now, as you know, they just elected a new Miss Colombia who is 30. And in Miss Universe Argentina, there was a 60-year-old woman who made the top 10. And also in Miss Denmark, there is a 61-year-old woman and a 49-year-old woman competing. Now, let's be honest, okay? A lot of young women, I'm talking about between the ages of 18 to 28, do not want to compete with other women who are much older than they are. They don't say this on social media because they're afraid to be
Yeah.
criticized,
The
okay?
backlash every time you give an opinion about all of these topics we're talking is terrible. But I'm not afraid. I tell the truth, you know, and this is how I feel. I'm against this also. Okay, I'm not. Then again, you know, we come back to this is a platform for young women to make a future out of their life. It doesn't matter. They don't have to go into the artistic world or journalism or television or actress. Even as many, in the case of Venezuela, we have lawyers, writers, we have politicians, women that have not in politics. And really, this has been a platform. A woman that is 60 or older and trying to get in a pageant is like, seriously, then again, you're taking the opportunity from a young girl. You already made your life, you already live your life. And the cognitive and because, well, intelligence is something that I always say, intelligence, you either have it or you don't have it. You don't gain intelligence through the years. You're either, I always say that's I won't say the word, that you either have it or don't have it. Yeah, if you're young, if you're intelligent, that helps you. But there is so much knowledge and experience an older person has that a young girl doesn't have. That is not fair, okay, for a young girl. Even, you know, you when you see when I went to the pageant, how I answer, how I handle myself, and it was as a 19-year-old, it was pretty impressive. But a Carmen Maria Montiel of 59 years old, with all the experience and the knowledge and my college degrees and oh my God, I will just go like this and
Yes.
all the girls, and it's not fair. Then again, if you haven't made your life at 60, you know, go help children, feed the children, help the homeless. I don't know. But then again, you're taking an opportunity from a young girl.
I, in a way, agree to a certain extent. I cannot imagine an 18-year-old young lady competing against a 58-year-old woman with a lot of experience already, you know, who is much worldly and much more sophisticated and more experienced. So how are you going to judge that? It's hard. It's not fair. Again, it's not fair. Yeah.
You would say, well, the body of the younger girl, you know, because it's better. But nowadays, women are keeping their self. I'm very proud of the way I have kept because I eat right, I exercise. So women are keeping, you know, their self in their bodies very, you know, very fit, very healthy. But it's not fair. I don't agree with that. I think we need to get back to what it was. And even when they got the pageant to 28, I think it's too much. You know, at that time, come on, I got married when I was 23 years old. I could have been a mother then, but I was, you know, I moved to the United States and all of that. I had my first child when I was 31. But, you know, they're even accepting women that are mothers. And I'm like, okay, what's going to happen? You know, remember that when they're mothers, you know, when you win, you have to move to New York as Miss Universe. What are you going to do with that child or those kids if you have more than one? You know.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Because, you know, well, you know, if they crown like a 50-year-old woman whose children are already grown up, then it's not a problem. But if they're going to crown a young woman, a young mother with like a 3-year-old child, or let's say 4 young children, are they going to tag along wherever she goes?
Well, wasn't there a Miss Colombia that had a small kid?
Yeah, she has there's a Miss Guatemala that competed last year with 2 kids, and a Miss Colombia with one kid. And
And the
Miss
Miss Venezuela that is going
Venezuela
this year,
has a
she had a
12-year-old daughter.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Abandon your child?
Yeah.
Or you have to take your child with you? Is the organization going to pay for that? A school and all of that? And what's going to be the status? I'm telling you, it's, I don't agree with any of that.
Well, when you think of the current Miss Universe of Nicaragua, Sheynnis Palacios, I think so far she has visited 17 countries. Imagine if she was a mother with a young child.
That,
She wouldn't be able to do it. She wouldn't be able to travel.
and if she does, that's abandonment. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Again, if you're a mother, you are a mother. And as a mother, you keep your profession and keep on working. But that type of work, I'm sorry, children need the mother. And
Yes.
we started this interview talking about my children that I'm so proud, but I am a present and dedicated mother, even now that they're grown, that my kids are always calling me, asking me questions, asking for advice. My girls are doing internships. This summer, my son is back from college, and I just enjoy every second. He gets in my bed and we watch movies, and we're having the time of our life, because pretty soon when they go into the real world and work and get married, everything is going to change.
Of course, of course. So enjoy your moment with your children. Not only young child, but also what if with a married title holder, does the husband also get to travel with her? Because if they don't see each other for like 6 months, for a full year, that's going to affect the relationship. What kind of a married relationship is that? You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, they're not thinking things through.
Yeah.
And I really think that the pageant, like sports and all of that, are an opportunity for young women, to set the plate for their future.
Reading some of the comments, they love you, Carmen. Matthew, hi, Matthew. He is saying, oh my God, Queen Carmen, beautiful as always.
Thank you.
Carmen, you should compete all over again, since Miss Universe now allows all ages, and you can win this time.
We're just talking about that. No, I'm not going to do that to the young girls that they're served opportunity.
Our good friend Stefan. Hi, Stefan. I totally agree with Carmen. She is making a lot of valuable points, and I hope that the Miss Universe organization will go back to what it was, a platform for young women with a voice and a cause. Matthew says, Carmen, please call Osmel and tell him to fix this mess. Have you spoken with Osmel?
No, I haven't spoken, but I have congratulated him via Instagram. I'm so proud of him. And deep inside, he's a conservative. I know that for a fact.
Really? Okay.
He's one of the few that said that he didn't agree in gay marriage because he didn't think it was fair for the children. Mm-hmm. So you must be, those interviews exist. So he's a conservative. So I would love to have a talk with him now that he's closer near in Mexico about those issues. Because, I did what I did thanks to him. And I always say I'm very appreciative because that changed my life. And he saw in me something I didn't know existed. And probably I would have never discovered if it wasn't for him. Yeah. But that's him. He has that eye. And he's seeing women, things that he know he can get out and explode and make them winners, as we have been. So I really hope for him to improve the Miss Universe pageant and hopefully get away from all this craziness. The world is crazy right now, and I think at some point we need to start getting back to bases, mm-hmm. and back to families, and back to the importance that we need to raise our children and be present and push them for the future. Because come on, we're all gonna eventually be mm-hmm. gone. I'm gonna be 60 this year, and more than ever, I think like, how much time do I have left? turning 60, I said, what's going to be 20 more years? And I'm going to be gone, and in this world, our children are going to inherit.
They say 60 is the new 30. So, and
Yeah.
human life is getting longer and longer every day, every year.
As well, the nutrition, exercise, and keeping busy. If I'm not working, I'm reading or doing cross puzzles. All of that's very important.
Question from Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. Please ask Carmen, if she were approached to be a national director, would you be interested in doing it?
National
Director of, let's say, Miss Venezuela for Miss Universe.
Well, no, there is no way I can go back to Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
the crisis. Yeah.
I pretty much think they will arrest me because of the obvious, openly position I have against the regime. So that's why I don't go. Why looking for trouble? So that's not even a possibility.
All right. So that answers your question, Jonathan. Now, I wanted to tell you, because the first interview that we did 4 years ago, YouTube sent me a notice, an email saying that they had to put down that interview. They had to take it down. And the reason they gave me is because it violated, this is so stupid of YouTube. Talk about cancel culture. YouTube loves to cancel people. The reason they gave me is that it violated their medical misinformation policy. Now, when I think,
what do we talk about it?
well, obviously, I could not watch the video because it's gone. It's gone. They deleted it. But when I think of it, I remember you and I were talking about COVID back then.
Yeah.
You did not take the shot, the injection. I didn't take the vaccine either. And I think that's what YouTube was talking about. We were giving the audience like misinformation about COVID and whatnot.
Well, look what had happened now. So many people have died. So many people with so many issues related to that thing. And let's not mention it anymore, because my YouTube channel was canceled, closed by YouTube. And like you said, like they put the video down. When they closed my YouTube channel, they didn't give me any opportunity. They just shut it down.
Well, this is exactly what happened to me. I cannot appeal. I cannot send an appeal.
Nothing. They just shut down my YouTube channel. I lost all the videos, everything. So many of us are under attack for our conservative vision, which is not fair, because it's like you want to silence other points of views, other visions. And I'm glad that, every time I read, recently, a young girl that I know, she's 29 years old. She's been married for 2-3 years. She had a young baby. She had a hard time conceiving. She didn't get the bags, but her husband did. And now the husband is having heart problems, a 30-year-old man.
Healthy man, yeah.
And you wonder, why are young people having heart issues? It doesn't hurt of. And something that was experimental. And you know what is like, that whole situation, the mask and everything, has proved that it was such a mistake. It was such a terrible thing to happen to our economy, to our children. Our children that were not able to communicate, to go to school, and forever change the way. I'm very worried about the new generation that were oppressed in that way, that could used to be oppressed. Okay. And we come from a generation, at least, we were the fighters. We were the people that question. I remember my dad always told me, question, do not accept, question everything. And I was in Guatemala and I read this, what's the university in Guatemala? Beautiful university. And there is something in the ceiling that says, it's not that the answers that will give you knowledge is the questions. And I just remember my father about that. But this new generation are never going to ask questions. They're going to accept everything. Yeah. That worries me.
Well, can we talk about that? Because these young people, the Gen Z, the Generation Z, the Generation Alpha, it's very rare to see them actually open a history book or read a scientific book. They get all the information from either Twitter or X, also from TikTok. TikTok is a disease. The whole TikTok. Do your children have TikTok? Do they use TikTok?
Well, they'll use it because they send me things in TikTok, and
it's a Chinese spyware. It's a Chinese spyware.
And people are not understanding that we're being infiltrated, and they're checking everything on us. But yeah, they do. It's if not, they're like out of what's happening in the world. But my kids study, and especially my middle child, she's an avid reader. She reads everything, and sometimes she reads 3 books, each book in a different language, because all my kids speak Spanish, English, and French. Mm-hmm. But I always say you are a reader or you're not. And she's an avid reader, like my father was. But I like to investigate. I like to study. I like to learn, and I have put that into my children. And I have told them, I said, don't take anything, just question things, research things. Don't take it for granted that whoever told you whatever, that's it. And I have, especially my son now that finished his first year in college, he has said things that he just pull my hair like this. And I have sat him down and said, okay, let's have a talk about this. And that's what we have to do about being parents. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about this. This is my point of view, and please, I say this is not how it happened, because he has said things, that's not how it happened. And I said, just don't follow what TikTok is saying. Okay, right. This is how it happened. Research it. Or sometimes I said, this is how it happened because your mama was there.
Now, your son is in college. Now, how is he involved in any type of political activities in school?
No, my children are allergic to politics.
They're allergic to politics. Because I was going to ask, because as you know, with the conflict going on between Israel and Palestine and Hamas, you see thousands and thousands of college students protesting Israel, hating Israel, even threatening Jewish students on campus and whatnot. And you wonder how many of these young students actually know the history behind the conflict. I bet you 99.9% of them do not know the real history.
I'm going to tell you especially my middle child in Tulane, she's the one who told me that there is a lot of students in Tulane that are Jewish. Mm-hmm. And when this whole thing started, she was completely heartbroken seeing her friends, being beat up and abused and screamed at. And my daughter was like, how can people, and my kids are both, all 3, how can they be pro-terrorism? Because that's reality. Because this is not even about the Palestinians. This is Hamas, that is a terrorist group that made the attack. Mm-hmm. And everybody knows that Hamas oppressed the Palestinians. Because if Hamas really care about their people and the Palestinians, why haven't they invest money and improving their lives?
Exactly.
That's the reality of this, which Israel has. So this is not about Israel and the Palestinians. This is about Hamas. So if you support that, you're supporting terrorism. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I had the experience. I have asked my kids when there are protests, and then tell me it's a minor thing. Then we go again, how the minority is controlling the world, because it's really a low percentage of kids that participate in this. And many of the time, the big ones, there's been a lot of infiltration. I went to pick up my son. My son is in Virginia Tech. And I went to picking up to help him pack everything because, when the year ends, they have to close the doors and everything. And he was in finals. So while he was studying, taking finals, I packed everything up to come back. And the last night, before his last test, that everything was packed, we had dinner, quick dinner for him to go back to his books. But we sat down at the border. There is like restaurants at the border of the campus. You sit outside. The weather was perfect. And there was this little crowd. This is May 8th, okay? This little crowd of people protesting, what they call pro-Palestine, which is not pro-Palestine, okay?
Actually, pro-Hamas.
Pro-Hamas, this is the reality. And the word but it was, and let me tell you, nobody cared. Like they were, I drove into park and I was like, oh, what's that? And and they were just screaming, and nobody, there was all these restaurants, people sitting, outside, and people were like completely ignoring them. And that's what you have to do with them. Because if you give them attention, you empower them. I always say that's like when little kids, a 2-year-old, throw the first tantrum. If you acknowledge it, and they will keep on doing it. But all my kids, they throw the first tantrum, and I look the other way, and they knew, okay, I cannot control my mommy with this. They never did it again.
Well, you just have to speak your mind. It doesn't matter in public or in private. If you feel that you have something to say from your heart, say it. Yeah.
But it's a minority, and people should not allow for minorities to control.
But you know what? It's a very, very scary and potentially violent minority. Actually, like a few days after the October 7th attack, rather than showing sympathy over the victims by Hamas, thousands and thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters demonstrated in England, in Europe, in all over Canada, in the States. And I was really, really shocked. Where did we get all these thousands and thousands of supporters of Hamas? And I have Jewish friends, and sometimes I do fear for them, for their lives. But you know what? I'm not Jewish, but if that something happened to me, I would expect my friends to defend and protect me. And I'm doing the same thing, towards my Jewish friends. So because what happened to Jewish friends, it could happen to you too.
Well, that's the other thing. People think it's not going to happen to me.
It's going to happen.
Or we allow for this to happen. They're attacking this group today. They're going to attack another group tomorrow. Mm-hmm. My group, and Christians are under attack. That's a reality also. Yeah. So are we going to allow this to happen? They're coming for us next. Mm-hmm. So we need to stop this and stand up for our principles and to these people.
Well, you know what? If they were able to get President Trump, they will get anybody else. Now, can we talk about the guilty verdict?
I think you have seen my Instagram.
Yes, I have seen your Instagram, and I live for your Instagram. I love all your comments. I love that you're defending your point of view against all these communists and socialists, because they don't have a clue. You need to educate these people. They don't know what's happening in America. Okay.
Oh, and let me tell you, you must notice that I was silent for a long time. I was not giving any political opinion after my last run. That was 2 years ago. Because God, they will shut your channel if I talk everything that happened there. So no, so I was silent. But it gets to a point that here or where again, I say, if we are silent, they're going to take over. Okay, listen, what they're doing to Trump is no different for everything they have done in Cuba, Venezuela, Russia, Okay? There is no difference. People need, and especially there's so many Venezuelan people that are in support. Oh, like that Trump got indicted and said, listen, Leopoldo Lopez got arrested. He was the biggest opposition leader at the time. Capriles was, for what I heard, threatened. So many political people that are being incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're having elections next month. And Maria Corina Machado won the primaries run by the opposition, the independents, by 95% of the vote. This is unheard of, that somebody wins the primary by 95% of the vote. What does the regime do? They put charges on her and disqualified her to run. Now tell me, how is that different for what they're doing to Trump?
It's the same. It's exactly the same.
It's exactly the same. And there's some people, like said, but he's a crook. How come he was never a crook before he decided to run for office?
Right, exactly.
In 2015.
Yeah.
This is the most investigated guy, and they never find anything. In this case, when they finally put 34 charges of whatever, that let's start with something.
They're all fake charges. There's no evidence.
A non-disclosure agreement is illegal too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that you pay for a non-disclosure agreement is totally legal. Come on, Bill Clinton paid $850,000 to Paula, what was her name? Paula Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how that was okay, but not. And actually, like he has said himself, I said, he had his lawyer who ended up being a crazy act, Cohen, and his lawyer, he was paying legal fees, and he was handling this thing. Okay. Yes. And he decided, and it was a non-disclosure. This was the other thing. The statute of limitation has expired.
Right.
And they pass a law in order to revive something that the statute of limitation have expired, and something that, if in any case was a misdemeanor, never a felony. And actually, for the state of New York to make these felony charges, they don't even have the jurisdiction for that. Mm-hmm. And if they are claiming, which is their other claim, that this was election fraud or something like that, even the FEC, which is the Federal Election Commission, already looked into this and say, there is nothing here.
Right.
And they did not let a representative for the FEC to testify, because these jurors should have heard the reality on election laws. And so this case is going to be thrown on appeal, because there is something wrong about this that is going to happen. But what do they want? They want the card, and they're going to go from here till the end. He's a felon. He's a felon. He's a felon. Because they're labeling, but you know what's that doing? He is making many people that have been abused by the judicial system in this country being sympathetic.
Exactly. Well, imagine like a few hours after the verdict, his donation website crashed, because a lot of people were donating money, to pay for his legal fees and whatnot. Like in one night, $52 million were donated.
Over 30% of the donors were first-time donors. Thank you, everything.
And also a lot of wealthy, influential people who lean left are now seeing the light. Now they're reconsidering supporting Trump. And I think one millionaire, I forget his name, he's in social media company.
The one that donated $300,000?
I think so. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but also.
But all these rich Democrat people are now supporting Trump, because they now see the light.
What they realize is what they might be next. One day they decide to say something that these people don't agree with you, they're going to go against them and hunt them. We're talking about Donald Trump, who is a millionaire, who you would think, well, he wasn't the difference to go against Elon Musk, or any of them. And Elon Musk said it. It was like everybody is up for grabs now.
Right.
You know, especially when you're talking about an ex-president of the United States getting charges or creating charges or resuscitating something that the statute of limitation passed. So we cannot allow for this country to become a third world country or banana republic, because
It
this
already is.
happening.
It already is. Yeah, it is already a third world country, a banana republic.
It requires to have this abuse and of the judicial system get there.
Yep.
And it's happening, and that's why this cannot be allowed. Because how there is so many issues about the Democrats that they should be in jail for, but they're not.
Well, see, well, people have this theory that the reason why they're ganging up on Trump is because he knows a lot of private information, and is just waiting for the right moment to reveal this information, and that's why they're very scared of him.
Yeah, but then again, maybe. Why didn't he do it when he was president? He was already president. You know, this is just an excuse. Like they said, oh, he's going to be a dictator. He was already president. He was not a dictator. Oh, he's not going to want to leave. No, he left. Of course, but there is a lot of questions about that 2020 election. And me coming from Venezuela.
Over half of Americans questioned the results of the election.
And me coming from Venezuela, and the software that we use now in the United States is the one that was created in Venezuela. It's like, okay, what's the difference? And that the counting of the votes stopped. And then when they resume, we have Biden with a curve, a vertical curve in the votes that is mathematically impossible.
Yes.
That's what happened in Venezuela. They always stop counting.
Yes.
And so that night, so that's why, you know, those are things that are fair questioning. But, hold on. Didn't Hillary Clinton claim forever that the election was stolen from her? Oh, but that's okay.
Because she's a Democrat.
Exactly. And then Al Gore also fought the election results in 2000, and that was okay too.
Yes, but because he's a Democrat, and people are forgetting that, or the young people nowadays do not have any clue those things existed in the past.
Exactly. Oh, but Donald Trump, when he questioned, oh, that was not right. And let me tell you, and I hate when they call January 6th insurrection. I went there, and there was never more love in my life.
I have a couple of friends who went there, and nothing but people dancing, singing religious songs, you know, just loving each other. There were none of that violent insurrection stuff that went on.
It was a loving experience.
Yeah.
Where I could, you know, I was born and raised in Venezuela. I'm a proud American nowadays, and I've been in America for 22 years, a citizen. I love this country. I love the basis of how this country was founded.
Do you think this is still the best country in the world, America, despite all these?
We're losing it. I'm going to start by saying we're losing it, but we still are. But we're losing it. The country I live today have nothing to do with the country I came back as a student back in 1988. And that's what I decided to fight and be there and see the love and that patriotism that we're losing. Because that American patriotism we're losing, and that day you could feel it. You could, and it was a loving experience. So when they said that was insurrection, I said, BLM, that's an insurrection. Antifa, that's an insurrection. But none of that is, you know, that was the right of the people, and the people that the police remove the bars and ask the people to come in. Yes. That's the reality.
How could that be insurrection? That's not the police actually allowing the people to enter the building. How could that insurrection? Yeah.
And they were peacefully. There were some other people that created the problem. But is Congress the house of the people?
Exactly. Totally agree. And also, I think Nancy Pelosi and all the other senior officials in the Congress knew what was going to happen. And I think that's why, I mean, there were like so many videos that would go against the Democrat narrative of insurrection. You know, the truth is slowly
Oh,
coming out there, coming out.
it's coming out.
Yeah.
We even have to question our Republican representative because why are they have why they have not showed the whole truth?
Mhm.
Why have they allowed this to happen? Why they have allowed for all of this to happen to Donald Trump, who is the leader of the party, our party nowadays? When we have the majority, when we have the tools to stop all of this, why?
Because they're Republicans in name only. They're not real conservatives. That's why. Yes.
Exactly.
They're globalists. They're globalists. They're part of the Uni Party. Okay. Both Democrat and Republicans working together to destroy America.
And that's what I say. We'll lose this country, not because of the Democrats. We all know what the Democrats are about. We're going to lose the country because of the Republicans.
Comment
That's the
from Punji. Hi, Punji. Carmen is very brave for merely telling the truth. I can see the left will try to cancel her. Well, you know, you've been canceled many times by the left. Nothing
yes.
new, right? Insurrection is a relative term. The founding fathers gave us the Second Amendment so we can remove the government when they're no longer for the people. Yeah, that's true.
That's the purpose of the Second
Second
Amendment.
Amendment. If the First
And
Amendment
that's
doesn't
what,
work,
and why is it that they want so badly to regulate arms and take away our arms, the Democrats? Why? And if we allow for that to happen, we're going to become Australia. Remember?
well, we're going to be like Nazi Germany.
Exactly.
When you think of Nazi Germany, if the Jews had guns or arms to defend themselves from the Nazis, they probably would have survived the Holocaust. But all the guns, all the arms were taken away when Hitler took over. So
But
this is
the same
exactly
thing
what's
that happened
happening
in
in
Venezuela.
America. Yeah,
All
yeah.
their arms were taken away, and what how they did it in Venezuela is just how they want to do it here. Regulations, regulations, and there is never enough regulations. More regulation. We need to regulate. Here's that regulation. Now we're going to regulate more. And Venezuela got to the point that then ammunition was regulated until finally, I believe it was what 2018 or 2019. Oh well, they outlawed to have guns. But they start little by little, little by little. So many times I say Venezuela was the experiment of how to take United States. It's so similar.
Yeah. So you don't have any desire to return to Venezuela? When was the last time you visited Venezuela?
2012.
Oh, like
Yeah.
12 years ago.
And I used to go every summer, spend a month with my children. I wanted my children to know where they came from, to learn the
Sure.
culture, to enjoy it. But 2012, I said it's no longer safe to come here. And then, I've been very outspoken about the situation and wrote about it. And so it's even less safe. So no, and yeah, I'm in America, but I love the place I was born and I have great memories. But you know what? It's not what it used to be. So I say when people ask me, do you miss Venezuela? I say, well, I miss what it was, but that doesn't exist anymore.
But see, what I don't understand is that even though the socialist Marxist communist regime of Venezuela, is still present, I don't understand why they still allow the Miss Venezuela pageant or beauty pageants in general. You know what I mean? In Cuba does not allow beauty pageants.
No, but apparently they're allowing it now.
They're allowing it now with Miss Universe Cuba, but they're organizing the pageant in Miami, not in Cuba.
Not in Cuba. Well,
No.
it's the communists of nowadays are not the communists of 50 years ago. The communists of nowadays, they love money. It's all about they having money.
So they're
And
capitalists. They're capitalists, basically.
they're worse than capitalists because it's about in capitalism, we want everybody to be successful and raise up. Capitalism have raised more people from property than any other system. Now, these people in the new communists is about they having the money and everybody else started. So it's still, the pageant is a money-making machine, and the people in the regime love to have beautiful women by then. So the pageant today is not what it used to be. That's the only thing. It used to be a wholesome, family-oriented pageant. Like, we all girls, we were with our parents, with our family. That's not the situation anymore.
And
And
they had the most amazing productions back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. Amazing, big shows, big, nice dancing, great music, great costumes.
well, I'm
Amazing.
going to tell you something that probably many people don't know. And that's what I'm so very pleased that Osmel is in Miss Universe. In my year, the year I competed was the year that we opened the Miss Venezuela pageant with this all night long version. Remember, it was,
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
and
All night long.
all night, and it was our number. You can see it in my Instagram. It was a fantastic number. And then we have the circus of the main number.
With animals, yep.
So Miss Universe contacted Joaquin Riviera, who was the producer.
Yeah.
Osmel was always in charge of the pageant, the girls, and scouting the girls. He was so good at scouting girls. And Joaquin Riviera, who is actually, he was from Cuba. He was a fantastic, so creative. He was the producer of Miss Venezuela pageant. So that year, the Miss Universe contacted Joaquin Riviera and wanted Joaquin Riviera to produce the Miss Universe 1984. But you know why he didn't do it? Because they wanted him to do it for free. and Joaquin said, and I said, well, but you're going to get, you're going to get your name in Miss Universe. Joaquin Rivera was like, I don't need that. Miss Venezuela pageant is watched all over the world. You pay me, I go. You don't pay me, I don't go.
Are you still in contact with your former contestants from Miss Universe?
Miss Universe, we have a small group chat in Facebook. We haven't been able to contact all of us. I think we are like around 20.
Okay.
I know that like 2 or 3 have passed away.
Oh yeah.
That we have information, and we keep on talking to having a reunion, go back to Miami to the convention center.
Oh my God, I think you should. I think you should, definitely.
We haven't been able to do it, but at the beginning when we formed the group, we were more active than now, but we still put our birthday and everything. We follow each other, many of us. We always comment on each other things, like our things.
Who was your closest friend, your best friend?
My best friend in Miss Universe, oh God, I don't, it was, 82 countries of different languages. My roommate was Colombia.
Okay.
And
okay.
yes. And, the Latinas kind of talk together more. I think Argentina was fantastic. Very sweet, very sweet. And Susana, Susana Caldas was she was my biggest competition in Miss South America and Miss Universe.
Yeah, those two, always.
And everybody thought that the two of us, were going to end up holding hands at the end in Miss Universe, like we did in Miss South America. But
yeah, you know what? Okay, I think you should have at least been first runner-up. I wasn't liking the winner for some reason. I was not feeling her energy for some reason, And that evening gown that she wore, I'm sorry, but she looked like a grandmother. No offense, but that's what I thought.
Well, Osmel, I don't know if you see interviews with Osmel. Osmel, until this day, there was an interview recently, and he still said that was a stolen crown.
Really? I believe it.
He still says, and you know what is, and so many people, say, oh, Carmen, sour loser. No, you have to feel the theater. It was the days previous, we were I was the top favorite, but the feeling in the theater, every time I came out, the applause in the commercial breaks, the interview people who do you think is going to win? And the majority of the people say Venezuela. You know what was the next name after Venezuela? Colombia.
Yeah.
And it was this feeling. And when they called me a second, the whole theater went like, oh, of course, they covered that up with applause. So until this day, somebody sent me a video recently that they asked Osmel, and I say, well, there were a couple. Because he said instead of 7 crowns, we should have probably like 9 or 10. And they asked, well, who? And said, well, the first one I remember clearly was Carmen Maria Montiel. So.
Wow. Do you still have this blue dress
Yes.
in your closet? Has any of your daughters tried to wear it?
Still fits.
It's still fit. Good. That's the way. That's great. Now, as you know, one of the biggest scandals that happened like less than a month ago was the Miss USA scandal. Okay, both Miss USA and Miss Teen USA resigned from their positions, and that really shocked me. That shocked the whole pageant industry because it has never happened before that a Miss USA and Miss Teen USA,
and it was like within a week,
and they both stepped down. Now, I'm hearing a lot of different stories out there. A lot of people tend to believe both Miss USA, the former Miss USA and former Miss Teen USA, their stories. But I keep telling everybody, do not believe everything that you read, especially in social media. Like what you said, you have to question these things. You have to do your own research and not fall for lies or fabrications by other people. Okay. So,
and well, I read recently that the Miss USA, whose mother, by the way, not only is from Venezuela, but from Maracaibo, where I'm from, she said something that she has an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, talking about saying
we love NDAs.
she has an NDA, and because of the NDA, she cannot comment on the reason. And apparently, somebody within the organization was saying things about why, and she said, well, and she was asking to say, since you have said that, she was officially requesting to be released from the NDA, but that's not going to happen. So she will never be able to tell the truth, or at least her part of what happened.
Right. I've been following this Instagram page. I'm going to send you the link to that page. It gives a totally different version of the whole story. Okay.
I would like to read about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can read it. You can judge for yourself. And I'm going to share it also to my story.
I haven't followed too much. I really got away from politics for pageants. I just sometimes look and, the people that I follow.
I know that you ran for politics 2 years ago. You did not win. Do you have any plans of running for politics again, for political office?
No.
No? You're done.
I'm done. I was completely heartbroken. Completely heartbroken to see how bad our party is doing. Kevin McCarthy came to town to attack me because he attacked all MAGA candidates.
Who attacked you?
Kevin McCarthy.
Really?
Yes, he attacked all MAGA candidates. Let me tell you the truth about the 2022 election. The 2022 election, we were not supposed to have a majority. We were supposed to have a super majority. But Kevin McCarthy worked hard not to have it because he knew that if all the MAGA candidates won and we have the super majority, he would have never been Speaker of the House because he belongs to the Uniparty.
Right, exactly.
So he attacked us. He didn't give us money. And when he attacked us, who was he supporting? The Democratic candidate.
Yes.
It's like, so after that, I'm done. I did it with my good heart in place. I did it for my children. I'm worried about the future. My children, my children are going to have, like I told you, they're going to inherit this world, our countries. And I was expecting much better of United States of America. I always My vision always of this country was the country of law and the country of the truth. And it was so disheartening to realize that that's no longer the reality. So we all need to work, make a lot of money, to leave a lot of money to our children. They're not going to need it.
Do you think that Trump will win in November?
I totally think he will win if they don't steal the election again.
Okay.
Do you think they're not going to try?
Oh,
They're registering.
They do it. They've done it since 2015.
Yeah.
Since he first announced he was running for presidency.
Well,
so they've been trying to destroy him for almost a decade.
Many people said that Obama didn't win 2012. There's people that say that. And remember, that was until the last moment, we didn't know. So they're registering the illegals to vote. That's a reality. It's being reported. I've been contacted by some of them, giving me the proof of it, that they're being requested to register to vote. How many we have now? They say so much. They don't know if it is 13 to 17 million in this almost 4 years. So of course they're going to try, but otherwise, look, what they have done. First of all, the economy. The economy is affecting us all Americans, whether we're white, black, Latinos, yellow. It doesn't matter. It's affecting all of us. We were much better under Donald Trump economically.
I remember that.
We all did.
Yes.
And come on, the gas prices were never that low. Okay, everything was, the interest rate was never that low. People could buy houses. We were getting when it got to this country was the American dream, and that's what everybody wanted. And then became difficult. And then with Trump, it was again like the American dream was achievable. And now, come on, that's no longer true. And when you start getting in an Uber car and having your Uber driver, who is a black man, telling you how he remembers how his refrigerator under Trump was full, and that's no longer a reality.
Now it's empty. Yeah,
exactly. And then let's be realistic. Biden imposed a law in the 90s when he was senator that sent all blacks unjustly and for many years to jail. Who undid that? Donald Trump. And all the black community that was affected by that now are seeing what they're doing to Trump. Look how his numbers are going up with the black community, with the Latinos, because for some reason the Democrats think that we Latinos like illegal immigration. No. We came here legally. I want immigration, legal immigration. I don't want this disorder. It's affecting, especially us who are in the border here. Yeah. I'm in a border state, in a city that's close to the border. We don't want illegal immigration. The Latinos that came here, we came what I told you. This is a country of law and order, and that's no longer the reality. And that's why you see his numbers going up with the Latinos, with the blacks, and the more the days pass, actually they made Trump, the moment they found him guilty, they made Trump one of them. That's the reality.
Right. A felon for president. How's that?
Well, did you see my video on Instagram that they put instead that all our founding
Others were felons at one point.
Were felons.
They were
by the British rule.
Exactly.
So
the irony.
So and let me tell you, it's so unfair because they don't even can describe what the crime was. And then the judge give a rule, when you are to find guilty for a crime, it needs to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And that means if one of the jurors disagree, and it have to be unanimously, and if one disagree, then it's a hung jury. And for all of them to agree, it's because it was with beyond reasonable doubt. And the judge said, you all don't have to agree. So it doesn't have to be unanimous. So it doesn't have to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm telling you, all the constitutional rules in that trial were broken. And those are grounds for appeal and to throw that case out. And it's going to happen, probably not before the election. And they're going to call him a felon from here. And let me tell you what's going to be the sad thing. Even after this case is thrown on appeal, they will forever call him a felon.
Of course. Of course. But you know what? That's their choice. But the people know the truth. Okay. You can call Trump whatever you want. But the most important thing is that he loves America. He loves the country. And then he's the only obstacle between communism and freedom, you know, and nobody else would. He could have stayed home and watched TV. But why is he doing this?
He doesn't
Why?
need this aggravation. That guy have money and properties. Why he doesn't need this aggravation? He could be enjoying his beautiful wife,
Yes.
his children, his grandchildren now, playing golf every day like he likes. Why he doesn't need this aggravation? He does it because he loves the country. And like us and like me, worry about the future of our children and our grandchildren. It's not fair. And let me tell you the other thing they always say, he's racist. Excuse me? He was the first.
He hates gay people too, right?
Oh, that's the other thing. God, what's his name? He's gay from California. He's fantastic. He was in his he was in his
Is he conservative too?
He's conservative. What's his name? He's from California, conservative. He worked for Trump's administration.
Richard Grenell. Is it
Grenell?
Richard
Yes.
Grenell? Yes.
Grenell, and he's gay. And then Trump was the first one who allowed a black person in his club in Florida, something unheard of.
Yes.
Okay, so how is he racist?
No, he actually had like 4 or 5 openly gay people working for him when he was president. I did my research. I actually did a blog about this. And then he has a lot of people of color who served him. Dr. Ben Carson, of course, is one of them.
And he has real friends that are good friends of him, that have been good friends of him for years. Now explain me how he's racist. Now, I want to see the first good friend of Biden that is black or gay. Good friend, real friend.
That's a question to ask our viewers. Let us know, please.
Remember Biden told, who was it that he told, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black?
Yes. All these like racist tropes against black people.
Well, he said he didn't want his children in the bus with the black kids.
Yes, I know. I remember that.
Things throughout the years.
And let's not even talk about the fact that his daughter wrote in her diary about the sexual abuse that she experienced in the shower with her father.
Well, let me tell you, I always say, look at the children.
Yes.
You want to know who a person, you want to really know who a person is? Look at the children. That will tell you everything.
Comment from Matthew. Carmen, you did the best you could. Proud, very proud that you stood for the truth, despite all that you had faced. You are a true patriot. Woohoo! I think Carmen is more American than any one of us, I think, in this panel.
Well, yes, I love this country. I love what this country stands for. And like I tell you, and we're losing it. I miss the country we were. But I also see the similarities. You know, Venezuela has so many resemblance to United States. But we're a small country. You know, I grew up in a country that have 18 million people. Come on, we're the size of Texas, but a lot less people than Texas. And we were a fantastic country. I remember our people were good, and we have the best healthcare system in Venezuela back then. That was run by the Social Security, and it was safe. And then immigration started. You know, uncontrolled illegal immigration, uncontrolled. Now, in the 50s, after the Second World War, we have controlled legal immigration, and
Right.
that's took Venezuela to be the great that it was. But then in the 70s, the uncontrolled legal immigration started, and that the first thing destroyed the hospitals, brought the drugs, the crime started, the ranchos, those areas started, and then the corruption, and they start regulating arms. So what I see is so many similarities that I always say in my speeches. I come from the future. I can tell you how this is going to end. Because if we don't stop this, I know how this is going to end. But it became so bad that then one day he said, "Oh my God, I'm just living Groundhog Day." You remember that movie, Groundhog Day? That he wakes up every day and I said, well, this is because every day I wake up is the same thing that we already lived in Venezuela. And that's why I'm very patriotic. As a Venezuela was, I love Simon Bolivar, what he did, and how brave those men at that time were. And people don't realize they didn't have the right clothes and they went across the Andes in horse. Though that was, and they survived and they fought, they believe in what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Same way I founding fathers believe, and we're gonna waste it. Are we going to lose it?
I hope not. I hope to God not. We need real men, okay?
That's the other thing. We need real men and real women. All these, let me tell you, this
political correctness is killing us.
No. And these feminists, the damage the feminists have done, not only to women, but to family. The family, which is the basis of society. And if they're so feminist, why are they supporting transgenders that are taking our place in sports, in everything? They should be supporting women, real women.
Well, they're silent about the Israeli women who have been kidnapped and raped by Hamas. They haven't said anything about that. They haven't denounced it. They're quiet about it.
No, and one day, because you have to instruct, and they will not say anything. You have, and that's with my children. One day, something happened. I said, "I'm not a feminist," and my girls look at me like, "Mom, you are a feminist," and I say, "Okay, let me teach you something. I am pro women's right. I'm not a feminist. It's different." Mm-hmm. Women's rights. I will always support women. I will fight for women's rights. I want for you, my girls, to be the best and to have the same opportunity in the world and any man, but I will never be a feminist.
A human rights activist is humanitarian, whereas a feminist is political. There's a big difference. Yeah, because a lot of feminists are career feminists. They're feminists only because they want to have a safe, secure position anywhere, company, university, whatever. They don't care about all the suffering of women around the world. They only care about themselves. Okay?
About themselves. Well, listen, even the LGBT, now that we're in the June month, remember Martina Navratilova? Mm-hmm. She was in the board, I believe, of the LGBT organization, PACO. But she was one of the first as a woman that said that she didn't agree with transgender competing against women. They kicked her out of the board.
She got canceled.
How hypocritical this whole thing is. And we're talking about a woman that is openly lesbian.
I think too, is also, I think one thing that I'm sad about is that we have lost the art of dialogue. We have lost the art of conversation. Instead of actually taking the time to listen to each other, we spend more time talking over each other or yelling or screaming at each other that we don't hear each other anymore. I think it's time, given the current political crisis in America, I think we really need to calm ourselves down, take a deep breath, do our research, and then engage in a peaceful conversation with people whose opinions are different from ours. We have lost that art of conversation.
But you said it right. That's the thing. That's been their tactic. They
They
talk
shut
over
down.
the people, scream, because they believe if they scream louder and higher and more, then they're right.
Mhm.
And that's why conversation and dialogue has disappeared. Because if you say something they don't like, they start screaming at you, they start insulting you, and then dialogue is over, doesn't exist anymore. And then people in our positions are afraid.
Mhm.
Many people are. And look what happened. Listen, not only I lost my YouTube account, I'm still shadow banned in Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, it's like it doesn't go away. I notice because the how many likes I get is very minimum. Why? When I have almost 48,000 followers, how come I just get a few likes?
Mm. Very suspicious indeed. Somebody's controlling everything you say out there.
Oh, they on the algorithm. So I
Exactly.
hope my things doesn't appear that so and many people not like us. I'm gonna say, well, I say what I say, I cannot stay quiet. But many people just say, you know what, I'm just and I was quiet for a long time, as you know. I just stopped talking politics.
Well, I think you've reached a stage in your life where you feel comfortable uh just telling the truth without any fear or repercussions. I know you just became a real estate agent. You got your license, correct?
I have been
You're a
a
real
real
estate agent.
estate
Oh,
agent
okay.
for the past 6 years. I just became a broker.
A broker.
A broker, yeah.
How is that doing so far?
Well, no, that's my business. That's what I look for a living. I really enjoy it, and I do mostly commercial, international.
And you
So
went
I
you went
really
to, you went to Costa Rica at one point.
yeah.
You
So
were showing
everybody
properties there.
to invest in Costa Rica, call me, and it's a joyful work, and that's what I do. No more politics for me. Real estate. I've been doing it. I became a
Making
real
money.
in December 2017, but I was running for office in 2018. So that's what I'd be doing. But I took the next step down to get the broker license.
I do you watch Netflix? There is a Netflix show. It's called The Agency.
Oh, let me look for that.
Do you watch it? It's French with English subtitles, but it's about an entire French family. They have like a mother, father, and four sons, and they run their real estate business. They specialize on luxury
Oh,
properties.
wow. Yeah.
And they're looking for associates. Maybe you want to apply.
Watch. I'm gonna watch it tonight. The agents.
Yes, it's called The Agency. Yes,
I've been watching a lot. I watch Netflix.
Netflix.
I've been watching a lot of Apple originals lately
Okay.
because they're a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they are. But it's a very interesting a series, reality show. I'm hooked. I love it because they go to all these beautiful properties with big, humongous gardens, high ceilings. Everything is so expensive. Everything's designer. It's like, oh my God, like a designer Gucci or anything. Like it's just amazing.
That's fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
watch
just
it.
fun.
Yeah, I've been watching everything. Uh, Apple. There is an incredible series called it's about chemistry or something like that. Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
All right, I'll check it out. I'll take a look. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So now that you're in real estate, now that you're a broker, which hopefully it'll bring more money, right? And
Yes, that's the point.
and just donate some of that to Donald Trump. You know? And
But let me tell you, I did so much, especially in the 2020 election. I was in the financial committee. I raised a lot of money. I really throw myself in for that election. Yeah. But I decided no more politics for me. I'm completely out. Not even supporting anybody. I'm just quiet. This is the most I have talked about it in the last 2 years.
but keep talking, keep telling the truth out there. I think people are listening, people are waking up, which is a good thing. People are finally waking up.
I think people have been awakened for a while, but people has been afraid. And
Mhm.
people now needs to realize it's not enough to be awakened. You have to be proactive.
Exactly. Exactly. And that starts within your own community. It doesn't have to be national. Get to meet people, talk to them, engage in a nice dialogue, have them over for coffee or for a nice lunch, just get to know each other. And from that to me is a good start. No arguing, none of this senseless,
No,
stupid.
and just give facts.
Just listen to each other. Yeah.
And give facts, because most of the time the problem is ignorance. Ignorance.
Okay.
When people tell me they don't do it as much now as before. Like, how come if you are a Latina and a woman, you are a Republican? But now that they see Latinos, and I said, well, let me tell you. And what happened is lack of information and history. I said, the Republican Party is the real human rights party.
Oh, for sure. That's another thing that people do not know anything about that history.
People don't know.
It was the Republicans who abolished slavery. Okay. Yeah. It was the Republicans who actually introduced basic human rights to all Americans, not the Democrats. Okay.
Gave the right for women to vote. It was the Republicans.
It was Republicans as well.
That's 100 years because the Democrats were fighting us. And when you go through the whole thing, the Civil War, it was about freeing the slaves. It was not North and South and all of that. And who was the Republican? Abraham Lincoln. Now, I just wonder, why is it that the Democrats have taken Lincoln as one of them when he was a Republican? And then they killed him.
Right.
But they keep on talking like it's one of them. And I was you hypocritical people.
Well, of course, the Democrat Party is no longer the same Democrat Party from 20, 30 years ago. I was a former Democrat. I became Republican in 2012, because I did not believe, Obama disappointed me, and he was doing a lot of un-American stuff. So, okay, bye. I'm switching to the other party.
Well, see, you are smart because many people didn't see it. I saw it. But many people didn't see it still then. He still fools so many people. And I really think that the drastic change in America started at that point. It was changing, things were happening, but drastic started at that point. And nothing more drastic than these last 3 years. This is being, the cherry on the ice cream.
Exactly. This is a good comment from Punji. YouTube is not a place for freedom of speech. Yeah, I agree. You know what? I hope YouTube does not shut down this interview. Okay, if they catch down. That's why. No, I'm recording this whole interview.
Let me know.
I'm saving this interview on my hard drive in my computer. So therefore, YouTube cannot touch it, even though if they shut it down for my channel. Another comment from Punji. Conservatives are called conservatives because they actually think about the consequences instead of knee-jerk jumping on a social cause that may be a good idea on the surface. 100% agree, Punji. Conservatives think and they're aware of the consequences. Democrats never think. Liberals, modern-day liberals, don't think.
Listen, there is nothing more dangerous than this green energy. That really actually is going to destroy the planet. But they're making money with it and they keep on pushing it.
Oh my God. Can we talk about global change, global climate, and this climate change and global warming? Can we talk about that like briefly? I mean, I'm so sick of it. Like every day, every other day, there's somebody knocking on my door trying to sell me green stuff. And I just, what? I'm gonna put a big sign on my door that says no soliciting. Okay, go away.
If you do that, they really cannot do it, because when I've been campaigning and I go door knocking and you see that no soliciting, those doors we don't knock at those doors. So, listen, that's the biggest lie, and I've been in so many conferences, and it's not only the biggest lie. Actually, everything, solar panels, windmills, the electrical, all of those things actually are going to destroy this planet.
Do you know that the new president of Mexico, a woman, is a climate change activist? Did you know that?
No. Listen, the Mexicans yesterday, I feel for them. If they saw AMLO was bad, this is worse.
Yes. Yes. So I feel bad for the Mexicans, but nevertheless, if Miss Universe is going to take place in Mexico, they better give me a warm welcome, okay? That's all I can say.
Yeah, and this happened yesterday, and now Miss Universe, the headquarters are over there. So
Yes.
let's see what happens.
Yes. On a lighter note, Jonathan wants to know, Carmen, besides yourself, who is your favorite Miss Venezuela?
Oh, that's a tough question because many of them are my friends.
Okay, give me top three. Your top three favorites. If you were to create a new version of Sex and the City, Venezuelan version, you would be probably Samantha, and then pick three other girls that will complete the set.
I'm gonna tell you, that's a tough one. Many are my girlfriends, but I'm gonna tell you, definitely Paola Ruggeri, who gave me the crown.
Okay.
Maritza Pineda, who was like almost a decade before me, and Marina Bencomo.
Marina Bencomo.
I think she was 96.
96. Yes, I remember her. She's beautiful too.
96 or 97. It was in the 90s. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I mean, those are three amazing Miss Venezuela queens.
Yeah.
Definitely. Go. Wonderful. Listen, I cannot thank you enough. I enjoy every time I talk to you, you know, it's always good. I always feel good about our chats.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know our interview was taken down. Let me know if they take this down.
Yeah.
That goes to show you. And that's one of the reasons I completely got out of politics, because obviously they have an eye on me.
Yeah. It's 1984, George Orwell's 1984, the year you were.
Sometimes you wonder, things are not coincidence, you know? And you said, right, 1984, I was Miss Venezuela.
It was like, it was meant to be. I was meant to be canceled by YouTube because it was 1984.
Sometimes, and it's so sad, and people need to wake up because, they've been taking a rise little by little for many years. People don't realize 9/11 was the start of many things.
Yes.
And more and more. And the pandemic really did a good job on taking more. And like I told you, and controlling they taught our children, the young generation, to be controlled and accepted. And people needs to start, read the Bible and see what are the 10 amendments, and then the basic of our Constitution, that was the Bible and the Carta Magna. And the importance, we come to this world to be happy and free. That's why the Constitution said the pursuit of happiness. We come here to be happy and free. And think and analyze, are you happier today than you were yesterday? Do you have more freedom today than you have yesterday, or 5 years ago, 10 years ago? And start analyzing why. Why are we giving up so much?
That is a question that everyone watching, the whole world, needs to think for themselves. Okay, how much freedom do you have right now compared to the type of freedom you had 4 years ago, 6 years ago? Okay. Carmen Maria Montiel, te quiero muchísimo, te adoro, te admiro. Siempre una reina de belleza para siempre. Okay. Una de mis Venezuelas favoritas de mi vida. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much for this lovely interview. And hopefully, I want to see, if you're going to Miss Universe in Mexico, let's hook up.
Oh, let me know. Yeah, let's see.
Mexico is just across the border. You can drive, right? You can drive.
I want to be there. Yeah.
You live in Houston, right?
Yeah, I'm in Houston. It's across the border. I can go as an illegal. No.
Yeah, I don't think they'll stop you because you're so gorgeous and beautiful. Let all the beautiful illegal women in.
Yeah, it's very close, and I love to go to Mexico City. I've
never been there, so this is
you have to go. It's so much fun, and the food is so good, and they're so lively, and I hope this new president is not gonna just end it. So
I want to think positively.
yeah.
All right, listen, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.
You
And we'll see each other. We'll keep in touch. And if I go to Mexico, I'll let you know so we can hook up. All right.
Please do.
Un
Thank you.
beso, mi
Thanks
amor.
for having me.
Abrazo.
Bye.
Thank you
Thank
everyone for watching. And please follow Carmen on her Instagram, Carmen Maria Montiel. Follow her now and listen to her views. Okay. Thank you for watching. Have a good
thank
day.
you.
Bye.